Then we are shown the past, where we see Amai and some of his associates bullying a boy.
These guys aren't smart, and they aren't athletic, but they are still very arrogant. Because of this, I have to go with the flow so I don't make them angry. This is also so other people don't bully me, though sometimes there are some good benefits to this.
Then Itadori tells those people to stop bothering that boy, which makes Amai think that another fool has arrived. One of his friends tries to punch Itadori to teach him a lesson, but then Itadori lands a powerful punch on his face. Seeing this, Amai is shocked. Then two more of that guy's associates come to hit Itadori, but Itadori makes a mess of them too, and starts glaring at Amai. We learn that this was Amai and Itadori's first meeting when they met in school. Now, we see Fushiguro here.
Hey, if you're going from Ikebukuro to Shinjuku, don't do it. There are a lot of supplies in that area, so we might run into more players.
I have 2 reasons for taking that path. First, that path is simple. And second, that's where my pace is. So let me go there and take a shower in peace because I haven't rested at all since yesterday.
Then we see Amai and Itadori here, where Amai has brought Itadori to a theater which is Higuruma's base. Itadori thanks Amai and starts to leave from there.
Are you really going inside?
Absolutely, because I'm going to meet one of my friends, so I should hurry.
I've never met Higuruma, but once he hit the air very badly, so you should be a little careful.
If that's the case, then I'll be perfectly fine, because I've hit people very badly too. And anyway, if something does happen, at least I'll be able to run away. So, I'm going from here.
Ame wants to say sorry to Itadori before he leaves, but he isn't able to do so. Here, Fushiguro has reached Reggie instead of Higuruma. Reggie tells Fushiguro that Remy has betrayed him, which makes Fushiguro glare at Remy.
Don't glare at me like that. And yeah, let me tell you, Reggie is very powerful.
Stop your nonsense, because I don't have time to waste with you.
Then here Higuruma is lying inside a bathtub, which makes Itadori very shocked. He starts asking him what he is actually doing. Because of this, Higuruma tells him that he really enjoys bathing with clothes on. Nowadays he is doing many things that he never even thought he would do.
You are very strange. So you're Higuruma, right? I need to talk to you about something.
Wait a minute, I'm a lawyer, so if you want to talk to me, you'll have to pay me $35 for every half hour.
What are you saying?
Don't worry, I was just joking.
This is a very strange man. And looking at him, it doesn't even seem like he's a reincarnated sorcerer. This means he is a modern-day sorcerer whose cursed technique just awakened, which means he will listen to me and we can make a deal. You've collected 100 points, right? So I want you to help us end our culling game. Or you should add a rule so no one has to kill anyone without a reason.
Absolutely not. I will never do that.
Are you joking?
Not at all, because the culling game creates possibilities. Sometimes the law is powerless, but if I've gained power, it means the culling game rules are real, which means if we break the rules, we will get punished, and that too according to natural law, where there will be no trials. Isn't that a wonderful thing? I know these rules aren't perfect, but I still want to preserve the basic mechanics of this culling game. That's why I won't let it end so quickly. And anyway, I really like rules 2 and 8. Because of that, I also want to see curse technique removal once.
The culling game is a ritual, so if we wait too long, everyone in this country will die.
I don't think so, because the culling game loves stability.
Is that so? Then let me rephrase my request a bit. Then let me use your 100 points, Higuruma.
Have you ever killed anyone who troubled you a lot? And if you haven't done that, let me tell you, there is a lot of fun in doing so.
Then we see a Shikigami has come to Higuruma, and Itadori goes into a defensive position upon seeing it. This is because he has realized that if Higuruma has 100 points, then he must have killed at least 20 sorcerers. Because of this, he starts waiting for him to attack first, but then Higuruma activates his domain, Deadly Sentencing. Seeing this, Itadori is shocked and attacks Higuruma directly, but his attack doesn't even touch Higuruma.
Inside this domain, neither of us can use violence.
Wait a minute. I've come back to the same place where I started.
Here we will do verbal combat. So Judgment, let's start this.
The accusation against Yuji Itadori is that he went to a casino on July 16th, 2017, even though he was less than 18 years old at that time.
Hearing this, Itadori is very shocked and starts thinking about it.
Inside the domain, Judgment knows everything about everyone, but don't worry, I don't have this kind of information, which means the result of this will depend on our arguments and on this evidence that Judgment has given for discussion. And this evidence doesn't show whether you committed that crime or not, and you won't be told what is inside it. You have to prove that the allegations made against you are false. After that, Judgment will prove you innocent, and you will be able to get out of here.
Is this cursed technique for trials? So does that mean it was true that he is a defense lawyer? But this feels less like a trial and more like he is building a case against me. Higuruma is a modern sorcerer, but his domain reminds me of what Master Tengen said.
In the past, domains were a common technique for sorcerers, and at that time, domains weren't filled with deadly attacks, and it wasn't always like this. Domains were created just so you could take a target inside and make them follow the rules of a cursed technique, and a lot of skill is needed to construct a domain, which is why the number of users was low. Recalling Master Tengen's words, Itadori realizes that Higuruma's domain cannot cause him physical harm. He also realizes that inside that domain, Higuruma will have to explain everything to him.
Recalling Master Tengen's words, Higuruma starts explaining the rules of that domain and explains to Itadori that he will get time to prove his innocence. Higuruma will speak against him, and then judgment will decide what is right and what is wrong.
What will happen to me if I am proven guilty?
You will have 3 options. In this, you can either stay silent, or you can confess to your crime, or you can refuse it. And in refusing, you can even use a false statement.
Can I even lie in court?
If everyone told the truth, then trials would never happen. So then, now it's time to prove your innocence.
I did go inside that casino, and I also played on the machines there. Because of this, if I lie, only then can I escape this problem. But Higuruma has evidence that I know nothing about, and if it's true that the evidence doesn't prove whether I committed the crime or not, then after that, I have 3 options. First is that if this evidence doesn't prove that I entered the casino, then I should just stay silent or refuse. Second is that if this evidence only proves that I went inside the casino, I can say that I went inside for some other reason. But if the first point is true, then it would be like I admitted myself that I went inside the casino, which would mean I dug my own grave. So I have one last point left. If the evidence proves that I didn't just go inside the casino, but also played games inside, then I will be caught very badly. Because of this, the most correct thing for me would be to admit to this charge so that my punishment can be minimized. But does this court even work this way? Then we see Itadori chooses the second option. I admit that I went inside the casino, but I only went inside to use the restroom. Because of this, I am innocent.
He chose the second option because he didn't know whether things would remain in his control or not. Because of this, he chose the safest option. Higuruma also shows his evidence, where he has a photo of Itadori where Itadori had his cash exchanged near that casino.
Itadori just admitted that he went inside the casino, but if he had the cash exchanged before that, then it means he didn't go there to use the restroom. Because of this, he must have gone there with the intention of playing, but entry of minors is closed at that place, and when Itadori entered there, he was a minor.
So it means I am guilty? But this is not right.
Gambling is prohibited in Japan, which is why there is no connection between the casino and the cash exchange, and in some cases, many casinos share the same exchange. But here the trial against you was for entering the casino. Because of this, you just had to refuse, and you just had to say that you had never seen that casino, because we had no proof of it. So then, now the time for your result has come.
Then Judgment declares Itadori guilty, and they come out of that domain. Itadori is not feeling anything different, but then Higuruma attacks Itadori with his gavel. This causes an injury to Itadori's arm, but then Higuruma calls the gavel to him, increases its size, and attacks Itadori.
He can even make his gavel disappear and call it to him, and on top of that, he can even manipulate its size. But the biggest mess is that I can't control my cursed energy.
Then we are told that Higuruma was a legal apprentice at the Iwate Bar Association, where he overcame the challenges there as if he were clearing an entrance exam. Because of this, everyone started calling him a genius. But for him, all this was a common thing, because he realized that such hard work is necessary to gain knowledge. But at this time, as a sorcerer, his talent is shining more. Here Higuruma is repeatedly attacking Itadori with his gavel, and Itadori is trying to dodge it, but then Higuruma catches Itadori with his gavel, turns him upside down, and throws him far away. But Itadori is saved again. Then we are told that Higuruma has repeatedly analyzed the cursed technique that came with his domain, through which he has learned the basics of barrier techniques. And from this barrier technique, he has learned about reinforcement techniques, which he has learned from cursed energy control. And since 12 days have passed since Higuruma's cursed technique awakened, he has reached the level of a grade 1 sorcerer. Then we also get to know that before entering the colony, Higuruma killed many cursed spirits, and at least 20 sorcerers who attacked him.
You are not able to use your cursed energy, are you?
This is all because of you.
If you are found guilty, then you temporarily cannot use your cursed technique. But I think you don't have any cursed technique, which is why, because of being guilty, you are not able to use your cursed energy instead of a cursed technique. But what a dangerous thing it is that he is still standing in front of me even without cursed energy. Is this because of his physical stats? His strength is really amazing. When a sorcerer loses the power to activate their cursed technique, their control of cursed energy also decreases. But being unable to use cursed energy at all can be even more dangerous. But he has still lasted so long, whereas even one of my attacks could defeat any average opponent. So if I don't pay attention, he can even defeat me. Because of this, I will have to use all my strength to defeat him.
Then Higuruma again attacks Itadori with his gavel, but Itadori escapes from it and catches his gavel and starts snatching it from him. But then Higuruma makes that gavel disappear and goes behind the bathtub. Because of this, Itadori kicks the bathtub and throws it towards him, but Higuruma breaks that bathtub with his gavel. Itadori's view gets covered by its water, and Higuruma takes advantage of this and makes his gavel bigger and attacks Itadori. Itadori is stopping it with all his strength.
This is a very amazing thing. It feels like I'm fighting an unbreakable doll.
This situation is getting worse and worse, and I don't know how long I will be able to handle it. Because of this, I need my cursed energy back as soon as possible. He is very powerful, because of which he must have some weakness. So think, Itadori, what exactly is his weakness? Wait a minute, he said his cursed energy is for trials. Higuruma, I want a retrial.
As soon as Itadori says this, they reach back into Higuruma's domain, because Itadori has got a chance for a second trial.
Judgment had declared me guilty and punished me, but if I don't admit to it at all, then I can request a retrial, and Judgment cannot refuse it. So then, let's start again.
Yuji Itadori, you are accused of murdering many people in Shibuya on October 31st, 2018.
Yes, it's true, and I am not lying, nor will I refuse it.
Then Judgment declares Itadori guilty and gives him the death penalty.